Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Eye Opener Society. Thank you again for joining us because, again, I want to say the best part of this show is the audience. And for everybody that tunes in and listens, we appreciate you here at Eye Opener Society. And listen, we have a lot going on. I've picked up so much. We're doing our regular show every Monday. We have also Wednesday nights, I do my own guided meditations now. So look forward to that every Wednesday night. Picked up my wonderful new podcast from the wonderful Hannah Rose, who does The Sound Within. That's on Fridays. And now also part of the Eye Opener Society's original member, the other Hannah, my stepdaughter, has now done her own podcast. For those of you who miss Hannah, she will be premiering every not every Saturday, but according to her words, when she feels like it and when she can get it on. So whenever she does, it'll be on a Saturday night, but look for Hannah's Unrealistic Desires. And real quick, before I get started with my beautiful co-host, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to some really good friends at Echo Aura Productions. If you have not heard of Echo Aura Productions, maybe you heard the podcast, Just Us Thinking, Just Us Traveling, Just Us Tasting, and Heartland Arms, and they got more coming soon. They also do the productions in-house and video effects under that title, and Echo Aura Sounds is their music label. They also have a music label where they house all music, singers, instrumentals. Their Facebook page is up and running, and so is their YouTube channel under Echo Aura Sounds. And then they also have Echo Aura Creations, which is their shop where they do t-shirts and that they also do other 3D items and wood-edged items. So definitely please check them out. Lizzie, I just wanted to know, how are you doing?
Just excellent. Having a lot of fun this week. Switching over more to like energy stuff. So I've just been like restructuring my website and how all of that's been happening. So that's been really fun.
Yeah, and I've been listening to some of your newer, TikTok shorts, and I gotta say, it's like from when I first found you on TikTok to what you got now, everything sounds so much more coordinated, and you have a really good idea and a really good kind of way of wording it now. You're really picking up and doing so much better on that, and I'm really appreciating everything that you got on there.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, definitely. I scroll through it and like to watch my old videos sometimes and I kind of laugh at myself a little bit. When I first got on, I was just kind of like, you know what? I have things to say. And then I got on and it kind of I don't know why, if it was like timing or what, but it just kind of triggered something in my brain and I kind of just cracked open and I changed everything. And so then I was really chaotic there for a minute. And I was like, I don't know, it was hard to articulate. But now as I'm like coming back together, now I'm like getting all my plans coordinated. So I'm just really excited.
Yeah, in case anybody forgot, energy.by.lizzie, and it's Lizzie. Don't forget to check her out. And that same exact tag name is also on her Instagram as well. But you got a lot going on. I know that. And I'm hoping you take some of that stuff that you're doing on TikTok, expanding it a little bit, and then putting it on our platform too as well, because I'm sick and tired of seeing for entertainment purposes only on there.
Yes, actually, I'm planning something. I kind of talked to you a little bit, but not like a whole lot. But I've actually started writing a few different things to put on the podcast. The problem is when I do things on TikTok, I take like a big idea of a lot of things I have to say and I shrink it down to a little like 1 to 2 minutes because nobody on TikTok really wants to hear more than that. And so then, of course, when I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to write episodes like to film for the podcast. Then, of course, my brain like expanded out and now I have like 7 episodes, like, partially written, but I'm I'm gonna finish the first couple, I promise. But the way that this stuff works is it's also, like, interwoven together. It's hard to teach just one concept at a time. You kinda almost gotta coordinate it together, or else as, like, a person learning it, you're not gonna be able to piece it together quite as easily. And so it almost, like, has to be this way. So it just starts off a little chaotic, but I guess the universe is just really prepping me to be able to handle that. So here I go.
There you go. And I think you got a good handle on it. Substack, is that correct? That's where you have a lot of your stuff right now?
Yeah, I've put a little bit of stuff on there, and I'm definitely gonna put more. Probably whatever I write for the, podcast here, I'll probably just put what I wrote for it on Substack in case, because like, I personally just love to read people's things because I like to stop and ponder, but so many people like to hear it, it seems like most of the people I talk to wanna listen to it, they don't wanna take the time to read. So I was like, I'll just do it both ways. But currently, I have some stuff from, the system that I've been building where you take like a you kind of split your experience into 12 perspectives and kind of explore yourself through that. And so I'm kind of piecing together little pieces of that. And I have a couple of things for that too that are mostly written. So I'll be posting more on there too here shortly.
This is great because, at some point, I know we're always trying to get scheduling, our podcast episodes and all, but I would love to sit and work with you, what you're doing, and I'm dying to get you into a meditation session too, as well. And this is something I'm even thinking of doing right here on the show. What do you think
Oh,
about that?
Oh, I have thought about that. I thought that would be so fun. And I know we keep talking about working together, not quite getting to it, which I'll admit is mostly my fault here. But that's part of why I switched over my booking link this week. What I was trying to do was trying to coordinate all of these things on a massage booking link. And massage booking link isn't really designed for phone calls or for different time zones. And my brain isn't set up for different time zones either. So
Either.
I've been having a lot of problems with that one, but so I just like, you know, I just switched it over, so now this one will, like, automatically coordinate that for me, and it's just gonna, like it's just gonna be so much better, so I'm just so excited. I don't even know what to do with myself.
That's great. I'm excited for you. And I'm thinking this year would be great if we did this like on the podcast. This way people can get an idea of what you do, get an idea of how I do things, and to actually see it in action. This way, if somebody said, "Hey, I think I could really benefit from that," they'll be able to jump on and, either contact you, contact me, and have sessions there together. And that's why I think it's a beautiful thing to come together with this between your energy work, my meditation. And again, if you want, like I said, Wednesday nights, I do guided meditations. They're general, usually a 15-minute guided session, but I could work personally with everybody too. And I know that's the great thing with you. You could figure people out and work with them individually as well, because it's nice to get all the free stuff. It's nice to go on YouTube and get meditation, but when it's designed specifically for someone, it really benefits you so much better. And that's why I like to get out there. And I know your work too. You could probably help tons of people with it. And it's kind of like me. It's just even me just sitting here doing the podcast with you and having you on, in my presence right now. It's calming to me. This has become kind of my thing now. This is what I look forward to.
Oh, that's funny. And I actually gotta tell you a story because you didn't tell me what we were gonna be doing here today until we got on, but,
Mhm.
so I sent you that text message that asked how you were doing today because as I was, like, prepping and setting up, I started feeling all of this, like, energy, and I was like, "Oh, like, what's going on?" And then I couldn't tell if it was yours or mine, which usually means it's mine, but I couldn't quite I felt like it was yours, so I sent you the, "How are you doing?" You say you're doing great, so I'm like, "Okay, it's mine," and so I start exploring it, and I was, like, reading my oracle deck, and it's basically telling me about how today's vulnerabilities are tomorrow's strengths, and you just need to, like, relax and soften and just gonna go with it. And I'm like, okay, well, what the heck are we gonna be talking about today? I'm almost like a little nervous about it, but I'm like, okay, I hear you, universe. I'll do it. I'll be vulnerable. And that's what it is that I don't tend to like to do my work with an audience. I have a hard time with group stuff because my stuff can get so vulnerable. In order for it to work, you have to be vulnerable. And that's kind of hard to ask people to do with an audience? And so normally I kinda discourage that, but I'm trying to open up because I wanna do these group classes because people learn off of each other so well, and if we can just be vulnerable, like, that's just really how we're all gonna get so much further, so, I guess if you're willing to be vulnerable here today, I would absolutely love to trade a little bit of work with you.
Well, go for it because I don't mind being vulnerable. I would love it.
Well, the universe says today's vulnerabilities are tomorrow's strengths, so
I'll be waiting for tomorrow then.
Alright. Do you how do you wanna do this. You wanna go, like, go first?
Um, well, we're gonna be working off of your system, so you tell me how and what you're expecting of me.
Oh, so me go first.
Yeah, you go first.
Okay, okay. So, what I would normally do, and again, I don't normally have an audience for this, but so I would ask you, how you're doing, what are you working on in life? Like, what are your goals? And I would start kind of pinpointing what to kind of work on for you to see what blocks are in the way or what can shift for you.
Yeah, I'm working basically because I have it's kind of odd because everything is condensed right now in my life. I'm stuck in this little bubble because I'm filling that bubble up with all of my ideas, for the very, very near future. And, between this podcast and, finances and the direction I wanna go in. So that I'm filling up that bubble and I'm going through each day within this matrix, just trying to get through each day. Um, and there's setbacks as always, just recently, we're having an issue. Unfortunately, I can't mention it or anything here, but there's an issue that's actually holding my wife and I back. So it's something that we got to work around. But what I found, because it's another one of those things that would have probably 7, 8 months ago would have absolutely ruined my, psyche. I would have been broken out. I would have been having anxiety attacks and panic attacks, but it doesn't happen anymore because I take every little incident and I reduce it because the problems always take care of themselves. So that's what I got going on.
Okay, so while you were talking, I pulled some cards, and now I'm just kind of assuming what this is about based on the cards and the little bits I like maybe know about you. But so it kind of sounds like you're being pulled into some soul connections you have, some people that like you feel soul responsibility to help. But you're stretching past your capacity in it. And so you're not shifting where you're supposed to be, quote, supposed to be shifting. And it's a emotional detachment as you reach the end of your capacity versus switching whatever it is that your soul's asking to switch. You just kind of like squish back down because you're just kind of, you like separate. And that's a really common coping mechanism for people because this world is freaking hard to handle.
Mhm.
But, at the base of the deck here is, heat. I don't know if people will be able to see it if they're looking at it, but, so heat usually this card, I often coordinate it with people's passion. And so this is probably something that's gonna shift you and you're gonna get a lot more clarity when you do learn how to shift versus squish back down. So, let me just pull some more for you. So at the base of it, we've got balance. It's two people. They're just kind of they're both leaning different directions there. And so if one person leans more than the other, then they're gonna fall into but they're just that one. And then we've got dependability and formation, but they were both upside down. And so the things that you're let me see how to word this. So the things that you're relying on as the structure of what you're building is not what's going to build you what you want to be building. So you're focusing on a lot of actions versus the energy and intention underneath it.
Mm. Okay. I like
So
it.
let me pause and give you a moment to talk and uh,
Mhm.
what are your thoughts so far? What's coming up for you?
Yeah, it definitely I like the heat card, passion. Yeah, because I've been talking about that a lot lately. And I even made some posts about it saying this right here, this show, it's my passion. It always has been, and it keeps growing from there. And this is just gonna be kinda humorous, but when you pull balance and the 2 people leaning in the 2 different directions, funny thing is I've been listening to Van Halen's Balance album, which basically has the same kinda cover on there. I don't know why, I've always been a
Hey.
Yeah, it's funny, it's weird, but I just been listening to that album, like kinda not constantly, but it's been stuck in my mind for a while now. And I don't know why, I was never really a big fan of the Van Hagar style, but that album is one of their better albums, and I've been listening to it a lot.
That's really funny. I think the universe really has a way of the things that we wanna do, it just, like, seeds these little ideas. It's really funny. It's really funny
Yeah.
to watch. Well, okay, so pulled some more, which funny, I pulled the balance again, but it's upside down. So this is gonna be what you're throwing was throwing you out of balance, okay? And then we have, fragments and efficiency. So these are the way that you're trying to, like, make everything work out as best as possible, right? Because you, like, see the plan or whatever, but it's the way that that is splitting everything up and causing more disruption than anything. And then I pulled from the other deck, we've got Earth, Star Chakra, Water, Earth, Freedom, Surrender. I don't wanna take the time to show all of them because not everybody can see this anyways. But so Earth, Star Chakra is a lot about your timelines and your association with, like, the path that you're going and the tone you're gonna take with it. Water is a lot about your emotions, and so this is coming back to a lot of attachments that you have, that may not be working well for you. The Earth card is a lot about grounding, but it's more about what you're growing from the grounding, and I find this very interesting because you focus a lot on meditation, and you are such a grounded person, and so I wonder if what you need to do is maybe I'm having a hard time because I know I've got an audience here. So it's like I'm not used to pulling vulnerable things out of people. So you've got something that you're insistent upon doing, but when you can let it go, it's gonna shift the entirety of everything you're doing with your purpose. It's gonna give you a lot of freedom, but you've got to surrender to the idea that you don't necessarily get to see the full staircase. You've got to trust in the universe, you got to trust in the people around you, and you've got to understand that there is a staircase, even if you can't see it, and you just gotta, you know?
Mhm.
Did anything specific pop up into your mind about that? A person, an event, an emotion?
Well, the cards are basically speaking exactly what is going on. Yeah, I'm grounded, I'm focused, but I got a lot of complexities because I'm still working, and my work life is what's bringing me that, I guess it's derailing me because I can't focus 100% on everything that I wanna do. I'm already surrounded by wonderful people. I mean, so I got the support on that end, but it's just, again, I want something so bad, but I can't just uproot myself right at this moment
Why not?
or not. And you see, that's the decision. It's actually the conflict I always have with myself. I could pack up everything and leave tomorrow, you know, if I get brave enough, if I get the balls enough to do it, I think that's where the problem lies.
No, that's fair. So, the topic card of this one is discernment, which is your ability to decide whether something is for you and whether it's for you right now. And then the other cards I pulled up is listen. We got heat again. So you got listen to your passion, and then there's a perspective. And so I think that you've got a really powerful message in your current perspective of your passion and how you're going to it. And if you free wrote for like set a timer for 10 minutes and wrote just as fast as you can, don't edit it, don't clarify, don't worry about grammar, just write for 10 minutes about your plans, your feelings about your plans, potential obstacles, what you hope to get out of it, what this could cause you to lose in life, just anything you can think of. You might find as you reread that a couple times over, you're gonna find exactly what you need to know to start shifting this over.
Mm, I like that, and I'm going to do that, and I will also bring you the results too as well. For 10 minutes of writing, that's perfect. So, I love this. This was great, and this is basically what you can do for other people too, because it does. Even though I'm in the same type of work that you do anyway, so, I got that same focus, that same vision. I love the oracle cards. I'm very good with those too as well. But when other people face the same challenges that either you or I have, they sometimes don't have these resources. Some people just don't have the clarity. That's not wrong or bad because we just haven't figured it out yet. But you and I can actually help people by doing little sessions like this.
Yeah, the thing is, I can sit down and I can be like, "Wow, I'm having this problem in life," and I can center myself, and I can read my cards for a minute, and I can journal, and I can process my way into figuring out where I'm blocking myself, where my perspective can change. But it took me years to get here. You know what I mean? A lot of trial and error, a lot of piecing together different people's ideas and plans and stuff. And then I got obsessed with writing my own for everybody. But that really just taught me so much more about myself. And so when you're learning how to do this for yourself, it's so much help to be able to go to one or even potentially several people to kind of bring in different perspectives to see where it is you're maybe not uh used to looking at yet
Mm.
until you get there yourself, because then it's really the most powerful when you can. But there's no shame in not doing it. And like even right now, I very frequently still have problems, and I brag all the time I can just like, solve all my problems. But then I'm like, okay, well, why is this taking me weeks to solve? Because I'm trying to do it myself. So you gotta get some backup sometimes, even when you think you know it all.
Right, exactly. And but watching you, befriending you and, even though we haven't known each other that long from when I first had you on the podcast to now, there is a big difference. And it's not like a different person, but you are able to react differently now. And I've seen the progress that, you went through. I understand it. At first, it was difficult for me to understand. I was like, okay, I'm going to be working with a lot of chaos. I was like, well, I'm going to have to prepare. But now things are focused in a much different way. And it's not to say tomorrow you're going to be what you were maybe, 4 or 5, weeks ago. Things keep changing. We do, as human beings, it's our way of handling them, and everybody's got a different way. And it's nice to have an outside influence to help you see that clearer.
Yes, and a system to kind of like, because like I did this 12 perspective thing because this way, if I'm having a problem, I can hone it into defensiveness, trying to build something new, trying to shadow work, trying to have, you know what I mean? And like I can see where that's at, and I can kind of hone in on a perspective, and it's a lot faster to try to coordinate all of it. So that's why I'm trying to build that system.
Gotcha. And I would work with you right now. My only problem with that, it would, I don't know, it will bore the audience only because there will be a lot of quiet. But what I will do
Yes.
instead, I will explain how I work. Knowing Lizzie, okay, and knowing you, how you are from the talks we had and all, there would be different types of meditations that I would guide you through. Um, Going back when we first met, it would have been intense. It would have been very, very
You
intense.
were trying so hard to get me to do it.
Yes. Yes, I really felt you needed it. It was intervention.
I
But
probably did. I probably did.
yeah. So I would have done a much more strenuous type of meditation. But now seeing the way that you are, I would do sort of a deflection kind of meditation with you where you're doing fine. I could see the way you're smiling and all, but I would tell you anytime you get any of that chaos crossing your mind, completely vanish, like totally release that, remove it. Think of doing something else. I would probably work out what it is that will be a good trigger for you to do to kind of block that chaos. And it's not that the chaos is a bad thing because that chaos helps you. That chaos brought you to where you are now.
Turn a
So
trigger into a glimmer, right?
right, just a little glimmer. This way you could take it in smaller doses because I just feel you're perfect, but I also think you're harming yourself
Yeah.
in a bad way, but you're harming yourself by putting too much focus onto something and worrying about the outcome, where the outcome is always going to be good. And even if it's not that good, it could be rewritten. And you love writing, and that will be a great meditation for you is to write, but to write without making any corrections, just like you told me. Perfect
Yeah.
meditation for you because then you don't have to worry about bad outcomes or correcting it because you've rewritten things so many times. and that's not going to be good at the end. You still want to have something that has a beginning, middle, and end, and it's yours. You could add to it, but those are chapters. So always leave the other stuff alone.
That would be, quite the exercise for me to not go back and edit my
Edit, yeah.
actual like, in my journal, I'm great at that, like, the practice I
Mhm.
gave you, oh, I'm great at that, but, like, to not edit the stuff, like, I'm, like,
Yeah.
building, that'd be rough.
But on another note with that, just so the audience knows, if you've listened to me for a while, I know there was one time probably last year or so, told everybody I was in the process of writing a book. And I started jotting a lot of stuff down, and I did stop because I enjoy speaking. I like coming on the podcast and telling my life, although I can't sit here and tell my entire story. So what I did have written, I sent over to this writer, Lizzie, and I gave her the first draft, and she's going to take it, and hopefully we can write the book together.
Yeah, I have not gotten a chance, to look at that, as you probably could guess, but I saved it. I'm super excited to look at it and see what you've gotten so far.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing where direction we could take it in, if we could go anywhere with it. Um, and this is for the audience. See, I trust Lizzie. Lizzie trusts me, and that's big. It's something I've been going on and on about in the last week or so, based on this little incident that I am going through, which is going to be a long, drawn out process. It's all about trust and how we trust people. Um, the world is out to get us. It's just that simple. These are the problems. Yeah, it's the problems that are being tossed at us. So when we get that, we have to filter out and find the people that are trustworthy. And that's always difficult. But once you got that vibe and once you know what a person is about and you start to feel comfortable with them, these are the people you want to surround yourself with all the time. Even if it is just one person, then it's just one person. But try and find as many people that are on your side and that are trustworthy. So that's my issue as of right now. But to go into my life story and to give every last detail of every last bad thing, I trust it with Lizzie. I know she's going to put it into words that's going to make a lot of sense. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate you just as much as I appreciate the audience.
Appreciate you being willing to share your story with me and letting me play in it a little. And then not to change the subject, but when you go back and watch this, I don't know if you'll there was like a little orb that came off of you and floated up into
I
the
see.
corner. Did you see that?
I did see that. Yes.
That was kind of funny.
Yeah, and so if you are watching, because again, we're on all platforms, but if you wanna see the video version, we are on both BitChute and YouTube. So go to YouTube, go to BitChute exclusively, you could see the little orb that came up, and I was just also sitting here because I totally forgot. I sat down, I got everything set. I forgot to turn a light on, so the only light I got is from the camera, so that's why it's picking up probably all the dust and all.
That's probably why you looked different today. When we hopped on, I was like, "You look like AI."
Yeah, and I'm looking now as it's getting darker, yeah, it's just the
Ah,
lighting. I always
that
told you.
makes sense.
Yeah, and I always told the audience, "Yeah, if you wanna watch us, hey, that's on you. I don't do anything fancy, I don't do anything graphics-wise, I don't know, I just put a camera on and that's it, and I just record." So, that's what's going on with that. But I do wanna end this, like, because we spoke about Hannah Rose, our other friend who's doing The Sound Within. Actually, I decided to record an episode with her tomorrow.
Oh, fun.
Just so we have her getting a little bit of practice as a co-host.
Heck
And this
yeah.
way we have an episode. This way it doesn't put so much pressure on you and I to try and get together and record episodes as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to it because Hannah gave me a ton of episodes. We're I think well into October by now. But she just sent me one today and I was really shocked. She just like you were talking about vulnerability, she spoke very openly about her OCD. I won't give away much. I'll wait to that. That's probably going to be coming out the first week of October. But I appreciate everything Hannah Rose has given us so far on this platform. She's really, truly just another amazing soul. You know, I just happen to find great people. I found you. I found Hannah Rose. I got my stepdaughter still. And there's just so much more that I have, more people that I wanna bring on here to get this whole radio show going because this is gonna be a collective of some very beautiful souls, and, like I said, I appreciate everybody, I appreciate Hannah Rose. I definitely appreciate you, Lizzie. I appreciate you coming on here today and doing this little session and giving the audience a little view of what you could do.
Well, thank you so much for having me on here, and thank you for having this gift of finding all these beautiful souls. I've been just having a blast getting to know them and watching all of their stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't forget to check out all the other shows that we got going on. Don't forget, we still have Ann Lund's Haunted and Waiting, Sunset Child's Out There podcast, and Elaine's Arcane Oracle. And we just had the full moon, and Elaine gave us an episode for that. She's been busy. I haven't gotten anything from Sunset Child or Ann Lund just recently because everybody's busy. But these people have their own platform, and they give me stuff when they got it. And that's the same thing with my stepdaughter. She made that very well known. She's going to give me it when she's got it. So
You know what? That's exactly how you should live your life. That's just my opinion. If
I
chaos taught
love
me
it.
anything, that's what it taught me.
And I appreciate that opinion because that's true. Yeah, when you live your life just when you want and how you want, that's when it's fun and that's when it's the best. So if you learned anything today, you learn a little bit more about Lizzie. And again, energy.by.lizzie on TikTok, on Instagram, right here on Eye Opener Society as well. And if you want to work with her, reach out to her and she'll definitely help out. And again, I appreciate everybody. And thank you again for tuning in.